All right, as we continue, Southern Command, Rush Limbaugh, EIB headquarters. This is it. This is it. This is where you do your show.
It really is.
Every day.
There's an ordinance down here in Palm Beach. You cannot work from your home.
Yeah.
And so, which is fine. I need to get, but it is the case. So we built this, and it's like a living room, home, office. Okay, can I do one thing personal? Every time I'm on your show, people ask me what this is. I get emails. What is this?
Right. Your cochlear implant.
Well, yeah, it's a direct line to the West Wing, is what it is. No, these are cochlear implants. I'm deaf. I'm 100% deaf, and I can only hear bionically with these. Very quickly, human ear has 35,000 hair cells each. They determine the frequency and the sensitivity of the human hearing. I don't have any. Mine are dead. They laid down and died. Autoimmune. So I have 8 man-made biological electrodes, or bionic electrodes, that try to do what 35,000 hair cells do. And it's a miraculous thing. If this had happened, if I'd lost my hearing 15 years before I did, it'd been the end of my career because the tech hadn't been invented. So it's really fortunate, and I look at it as something to be extremely grateful for.
I remember in that interim time, not to get too distracted, we got a lot to talk about, and I do radio as you do. I do not know how it's possible, because like most people in radio, DJs, talk shows, I'm cranking that thing up.
Yeah.
And dramatic hearing loss, after 30 years.
I did 3 months totally deaf. I couldn't get surgery done because I had an infection. So 3 months. So you rely on how your voice feels.
Right.
And you have to consciously tell yourself, when you can't hear, you speak up.
Right. So
you have to tell yourself not to lie. I asked the doctors, if I don't do this, can I speak normally for the rest of my life? He said, no. You will. If you can't hear yourself speak, you'll end up sounding like somebody who's never heard before. So you've got to do the implants. But that's what they are. And they really were a career saver.
Thank God. You're still here, going strong, 30th anniversary, which was a big deal. For those of us that followed behind you, it's a big deal, because you did forge a path for all of us. And we all owe you a debt of gratitude.
Wow.
That's why really I wanted to be here. Explain the Trump phenomenon. Maybe we have a more unique perspective, because we both knew him way before he ever thought about running.
Right. Well, I don't think it's hard to understand the Trump phenomenon at all if you are not poisoned, and I use the word like it's kind of an exaggeration, if you're not affected by inside the Beltway or Washington establishment thinking. Understanding Trump's easy. It's elite versus real people. It's somebody that is fearless and willing to fight against the things that no Republican has been willing to fight against or defend. He's got an engaging personality. He doesn't offend people. The left thinks he does because they act offended, but Trump just makes people laugh. They can't get over the fact that he's likable because they hate him. They despise him. I saw something that are we allowed to mention competing cable networks? Because you dominate everything. They're just a bunch of cellar-dweller pretenders. Little Brian Stelter over on CNN.
Humpty Dumpty.
Is that what you call it?
That's what I call him.
Actually, he's actually been somewhat nice to me. There are exceptions to it. But complaining that the president's talking too much. The president is in the media too much. I said, these guys demand and pray access. And you know why? Because he's polluting the air. He's lying, he's distorting, and he's not giving us enough time to catch up with him and to correct him. And I just keep going, President Trump. He's dominating these people. He's frustrating them. They've lost their monopoly. The Elizabeth Warren thing, the Pocahontas, proves they can't shape public opinion anymore via narrative. And they are frustrated as they can be about that.
He doesn't need them.
No. And part of the process, part of what's going on here, I believe, in all of this, I do call it abnormality. We're up against psychological disorder abnormality that is disguised as political issues.
And we talk about the media. It's never been this abusively biased.
Well, it's not even biased. We're so far beyond bias. These people are part of the agenda. I think they run it. I think they are the people that orchestrate it, run it, in fact, even give some marching orders to each other. The point is, Trump has just got them bamboozled, and I think part and parcel of what they're doing is trying to demonstrate to themselves they still have the power to shape public opinion via narrative. And it's causing all these people left to get even more and more and more extreme. And I'm just relying on the fact that average, ordinary Americans, like you and I are as repulsed as you and I are by this behavior that they are engaging in, the demands they are making on decent, God-fearing, America-loving people. We are not the problem. And yet we are portrayed as the problem. We're the enemy to these people. It's really scary. What happens if we lose? Go back and look. If we lose in 2016, if they get the House, folks, I'm just going to tell you, whatever Trump wants to do is going to stop. It's going to be paralyzed. It's going to be nothing but, in every House committee that's relevant, inspections, investigations, subpoenas. They're going to go back and try to get Kavanaugh thrown out. It's going to be nothing but 2 years of get even with Trump for having the audacity to win. And the business of the nation is going to be brought to a screeching halt. In the meantime, they're going to try to get rid of the tax cuts. They're not going to succeed at any of this because the Senate is still going to be in the hands of Mitch McConnell. I affectionately call him the turtle. You know, he moves so slow, but he's speeding up now. He's really getting good.
He had a good run there for
but
a week.
The end of judicial.
He did on Gorsuch and on Kavanaugh. He was great.
But I still think Trump. That's in whom I have, in terms of the politics of this, I still have implicit trust. I think Trump knows what he's doing.
Here's my question: we've had all this success in 2 years. Obama, economically, first president, never met 3% GDP growth in history.
Didn't want to. Well, this is the key. Didn't want. America doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
America's so oppressive, so mean to minorities. So America doesn't deserve superpower status. This is why I wanted Obama to fail. In his view, and the Alinsky view, and the American left's view, America is flawed. America is the problem in the world. America doesn't deserve its wealth.
The apologies.
Right.
But economically, 13 million more Americans on food stamps, 8 million more in poverty. Okay.
That's good. That's mean more people voting Democrat, more people depending on government. They want that, Sean.
We have 14 states, record low unemployment. We have lowest unemployment since '69. 1 million more jobs than people on unemployment.
Right.
Look at who's benefiting. African-American unemployment, lowest ever. Hispanic unemployment, Asian unemployment, women in the workplace unemployment. All of this success, you're saying, stops if they get the House.
Let me ask you a simple question. Why? You heard him just go through these statistics, the facts of the economic advancement. We've got more jobs than there are job openings.
1 million.
We've got 1 million more jobs than there are openings. That hasn't happened since 2017. Who was president then? Wasn't Obama. The things you just heard Sean go through, the Democrats are angry at all of it. Why aren't they happy? Folks, we are in a roaring economy. More people than ever can get the job they want. They're getting raises. They're being bonused. We have people free to start their own businesses. The economy and every other aspect of life in America is on the upswing. And a political party and its voters are mad about it. Why? Why couldn't you be happy? Answer is very simple. If it happens as a result of individual aptitude and application instead of government making it happen, they're going to oppose it. This is the greatest threat: economic activity, economic growth, self-sufficiency, self-reliance, people learning that the old rules of working hard and applying yourself pay off. Biggest threat to the American left and the Democrat Party that there could be.
Let me ask you this.
Why aren't they happy about this? I mean, everybody ought to be.
Because they lose their power.
Well, of course.
So, here's what I want to ask.
Question answers itself.
You have been a leader in the conservative movement in America.
I don't know. I don't know.
Number one in
the conservative
radio, and have with your audience sustained and bigger.
Conservative movement is led by never-Trumpers.
Oh, well,
okay. In their minds,
if they had their way, where would we be? Not here.
Hillary would be president if they had their way.
So here's my question. You knew William F. Buckley. If you believe Goldwater was a wave, if you believe Reagan was a wave, meaning the advancement of conservatism, if you believe Newton, a contract, was a wave,
right?
Where does Donald Trump? I look at his policies. I've always been a conservative. Never changed my views. Might say it differently, new circumstances, but my fundamental core beliefs have never changed, nor have yours. All these people have said he's not a conservative. Where? Like besides trade, and I don't even think trade. He never planned a trade war.
He is implementing
Yeah.
Look, I know these people. I got to know them 30 years ago when this all started.
William F. Buckley loved you.
Buckley, well, I'll tell you a story about him and where he would be. I thought you were going to ask me where he would be on Trump, but the answer to that, I think, is pretty simple. But they don't like Trump because of his manners. Trump is implementing issues that these people have devoted their lives to seeing passed, and they oppose it, and they're running away from it. It must never have been about the issues. It must be about the proper appointment and the proper manners and making sure we don't offend our liberal friends in Washington and so forth and all that. So Trump does all of that. Oh, I can't abide this. Ooh, this is so offensive to me. I can't. Ooh, this, I don't be yuck. And so meanwhile, everything that's happening is making America great, exactly as conservatives said it would, and they don't want to be on the bus?
I say, and I say this to people, and they say, what? He governs as strong a conservative as we've seen in our lifetime. Am I wrong?
He does. But I don't think the divide in America is left and right so much. I know it's still there.
Conservative principles.
Conservative principles. It's
judges, tax cuts, regulations, border security. Right. Peace through strength.
It's what kind of a country? The traditions of the founding are we going to go Marxist leftist? I mean, that's what this is about. We don't have any in common with them, Sean. I hear all these people still say we need to cross the aisle, show we can cooperate, show that we can show that government. What do we have in common? Name something we have in common with any of the people acting to destroy Kavanaugh. Where is the middle ground to compromise with them on Kavanaugh? They didn't even want to allow him due process.
Zero. And no corroboration.
They wanted to destroy his life and his family, his career, his past, his future. And they tell us they are the party of compassion.
We've seen
tolerance.
this before. We've seen it Bork, Clarence Thomas.
We see it every day.
And every election year.
We see it every day.
Now every day.
Donald Trump. I'm sure you've taken your hits. You've taken your hits.
A few.
Yeah. We see it every day. Anybody that they determine is an effective messenger of anything they disagree with, they're going to target.
We could do 10 hours, except you'd have to start getting paid. Russia's going to hate